Amad Diallo's story isn't one of instant glory. It's one of persistence, reinvention, and silent evolution. From the dusty pitches of Abidjan to the redefined academies of Atalanta, every chapter of his career has demanded that he adapt, survive, and prove himself all over again.
Yeah, I was happy to score my first goal. It's always nice when you score goal.
Nothing about his rise has been straightforward, but that's exactly what makes it so fascinating. When Manchester United brought him in, few expected the Ivorian winger to become one of the most tactically intelligent and technically unpredictable players in the squad. Yet under Ruben Amorim, Diallo is finally showing why his potential was always too bright to ignore. This season, he's not just another winger. He's become a weapon. His sharp acceleration, explosive dribbling, and ability to glide through pressure have been key to Manchester United's resurgence. A stretch that has seen the claim 5 victories and go 4 consecutive matches unbeaten.
Thumps it in left-footed on the volley from the edge of the D. That's a piece of magic!
And while his stat line, 1 goal and 1 assist, may not scream dominance, the truth is far more impressive. Diallo has been the most destabilizing and decisive attacker in this new United side.
Just a little bit low, that delivery from Mbeumo. Amad manages to wriggle free.
Every time he receives the ball, the rhythm of the game changes. His tempo is different, his confidence visible, and his unpredictability infectious. Defenders struggle to read him. Fullbacks can't keep up with his burst of speed or his subtle changes of direction. Operating on the right flank, he's been unstoppable, stretching the pitch, creating one-on-one nightmares, and giving United a new layer of verticality that was missing last season. But what's even more dangerous is the partnership he's forged with Bryan Mbeumo. Together, they've become one of the most electrifying duos in the Premier League. Fast, technical, and ruthless in transition, their chemistry is growing match by match, as if they've been playing together for years. When Diallo cuts inside, Mbeumo overlaps. When Mbeumo presses, Diallo drops and carries. The coordination is frightening. In key matches this season against Sunderland, Chelsea, and Liverpool, Diallo has been pivotal, creating chaos that opens doors for others while quietly dictating the flow of the game. Even in the late equalizer against Nottingham Forest, his involvement in the build-up showed a level of maturity and calm that goes unnoticed by most. And that's the scary part, because the truth about Amad Diallo isn't in the numbers, it's in how he's redefining Manchester United's entire right wing. He's not just filling a gap, he's transforming it. And as Amorim's United continues to evolve, it's becoming clear that Diallo isn't just another young talent waiting for his breakthrough. He is the breakthrough. And that's the scary truth nobody's noticing. Ruben Amorim's decision to deploy Amad Diallo primarily as a right-sided winger this season isn't just a tactical adjustment. It's a deliberate attempt to solve 2 major problems at once, giving Manchester United both width and unpredictability in the final third, while also compensating for the team's lack of control on the flanks that had plagued them earlier in the season.
Диагональ на Амада. Амад заходит в штрафную, смещается под левую, катит под удар.
And alongside him, Bryan Mbeumo has become the perfect counterpart. Together, they've built a partnership that's starting to look like one of the most dangerous in the Premier League. Both players are operating on similar wavelengths, but with contrasting tendencies that make them unpredictable and lethal.
In the 2-0 victory over Sunderland, their chemistry was impossible to ignore. Every time Amad received the ball, Mbeumo instinctively drifted into central zones, dragging defenders away and creating corridors of space for the Ivorian to accelerate, attack the box, and either take on a shot himself or deliver a perfectly timed assist to a teammate.
Amad with a little bit of space to use here as he enters the penalty area, shifts it one way, then the other, tries to get a pass away. Casemiro!
That intelligent interchange of positions, that natural rhythm between their movements, is exactly what Amorim envisioned when he brought them together. A combination of flair and structure that transforms the right flank into a constant source of danger. Against Liverpool, that understanding reached a new level when a sequence between both players sliced through the Reds' back line, ending in Manchester United's opening goal, a moment that perfectly encapsulated their emerging connection and tactical precision. Their ability to read each other's intentions without hesitation, one dropping deep, the other darting inside, makes them one of the most difficult duos to mark, especially when United shift quickly from defense to attack. And in the thrilling draw against Nottingham Forest, Amado Diallo once again showed why he's becoming the heartbeat of this team. His goal wasn't just beautiful, it was decisive, the culmination of sharp awareness, perfect timing, and fearless desire to take responsibility when the team needed him most. Throughout that match, he led every transition, dictated the tempo of United's counters, and consistently turned defensive recoveries into dangerous attacks, proving he's not only fitting into Amorim's system, he's redefining it from within. Even if small tactical imbalances occasionally appear in his partnership with Mbemo, those are quickly erased by the chemistry they share, a genuine understanding that comes from trust, communication, and the mutual joy they find in playing together. It's clear they enjoy each other's football. They read movements instinctively, exchanging glances instead of words, and constantly feed off each other's energy, making them as effective emotionally as they are tactically.
The connection with Amado is really hard to beat these two guys because they change position, they are really fast, they are good in 1-against-1.
And that bond is exactly why Manchester United will struggle to replace them when both leave for the Africa Cup of Nations in December, a tournament that will temporarily separate one of the most electrifying partnerships in the Premier League. For now though, all United fans can do is enjoy the show. Two left-footed magicians thriving under Amorim's system, turning the right side of Old Trafford into a laboratory of creativity, precision, and chaos, where every touch, every combination, and every goal feels like the beginning of something far greater than anyone imagined. Before diving into the present version of Amado Diallo, the confident, electric winger who's now thriving under Ruben Amorim, we need to take a step back and trace the path that shaped him into the player he has become today. Because his journey hasn't been easy. It's been a masterclass in patience, perseverance, and evolution. His story begins in Bergamo, Italy, at Atalanta, a club renowned for nurturing technical, intelligent players. And it was there where Diallo's natural flair and sharp dribbling first began to attract attention.
11 against 11. Well,
operating primarily as a right-sided attacker in a front three during the 2018-19 season, he played alongside future stars like Dejan Kulusevski, Caleb Okoli, and Marco Carnesci in Atalanta's Primavera side. Even then, Amad's left foot was special, a weapon capable of carving through tight spaces, cutting inside to attack central lanes, and manipulating defenders with his balance and acceleration. Under Gian Piero Gasparini's high-intensity 3-4-3 and 3-5-2 systems, Diallo learned tactical discipline while maintaining his creative instincts. He was often used in narrow roles, working off a central striker and benefiting from Atalanta's overlapping wingbacks.
this is Traoré. Hateboer in support. Here is Hateboer.
His acceleration, quick feet, and ability to control the ball in microscopic spaces made him unpredictable, but his lack of physicality meant he often had to rely on intelligence and positioning rather than brute strength. Those flashes of brilliance, capped off by a memorable debut Serie A goal, caught the attention of scouts across Europe, and it wasn't long before Manchester United came calling. On January 2nd of 2021, the Red Devils secured his signature for £21.3 million, a clear sign of belief in his future. Just 2 months later, he announced himself with a stunning goal against AC Milan in the Europa League, scoring a lopping header that earned United a 1-1 draw and showcased his composure on the big stage.
You tried to do it. You couldn't.
But his early promise soon met reality. Competition for minutes was fierce, and consistent playing time proved elusive, leading to a loan move to Rangers in January of 2022. His spell in Scotland started with fireworks, scoring just 5 minutes into his debut, but quickly turned into a brutal learning experience.
It's picked up by Arrigo, and
The physical intensity of the Scottish Premiership exposed his weakness. He struggled to adapt to the pace and power, often drifting out of games and losing confidence under Giovanni van Bronckhorst. Yet even in frustration, valuable lessons were learned about positioning, resilience, and the demands of elite-level football. The real turning point came at Sunderland during the 2022-23 season. Under Tony Mowbray, Diallo found freedom and trust, and in return, he delivered brilliance. 14 goals, 3 assists, and countless dribbles that left defenders dizzy.
Ekwa is in there. Yuko Nyan's in there. It's touched to Diallo!
He wasn't just a flair player anymore. He was productive, consistent, and maturing fast. His bravery in possession, willingness to take risk, and capacity to influence games from the right wing made him one of the championship's standout players. Statistically, he ranked among the league's best in progressive carries and successful dribbles, while physically, he looked transformed, stronger, more resilient, and far less fragile.
Roberts running at Giles. Diallo on the overlap. Amad Diallo gets...
That season built him back up emotionally and technically, and the following year, he returned to Manchester United ready to compete. His comeback wasn't smooth though. A frustrating injury sidelined him for weeks, and he managed just 2 goals in 12 matches. But one of those goals will forever be remembered. The decisive strike against Manchester City in the final, sealing the cup for United in one of the most emotional moments of his young career. Then came the 2024-25 season, his breakout year. 42 appearances across all competitions, 11 goals, 10 assists, and several unforgettable performances that cemented his place in Amarim's project. His double against PAOK in the Europa League, and his outrageous 12-minute hat-trick against Southampton became defining highlights. But nothing topped his goal against Manchester City. A thunderous finish that not only won the match, but was later crowned as the club's goal of the season. Under Amarim's 3-4-3 and 3-4-2-1 setups, Diallo evolved again, this time into a complete modern attacker. As a right-sided wingback and later a wide forward, he mastered the balance between creative freedom and tactical discipline. His pressing numbers are among the best in the squad. His ability to win possession high up the pitch fuels United's counter-press, and offensively, he leads the team in take-ons, progressive carries, and chances created. He's more than a winger now. He's a playmaker and distributor rolled into one, connecting midfield and attack, breaking lines with his dribbling, and setting the tone for United's energy, both with and without the ball. His diagonal runs, especially the one that delivered that late City winner, remain his signature weapon, cutting from wide positions into central zones to shoot or thread a killer pass. Defensively, Diallo has matured just as much. He presses with intent, wins duels, and understands when to recover shape qualities that make him indispensable in Amarim's structure. His spatial awareness and constant scanning of the pitch means he's always one move ahead, using timing and angles to exploit gaps even in crowded defenses. The result is a player who has grown from raw promise into polished reliability, a winger with rhythm, precision, and confidence. Amad Diallo's journey from Abidjan to Atalanta, from Rangers to Sunderland, and finally to Manchester United has been long and full of challenges, but every setback sharpened him. Every loan refined him, and every goal now feels like proof that his evolution is far from over. Because if this trajectory continues, the scary truth is that we might be witnessing the rise of one of the Premier League's next great wide attackers, and he's been right here, hidden in plain sight.
Amad Diallo's impact on Manchester United this season goes far beyond his statistics. It's in the way he changes the rhythm of matches, the way he carries himself in possession, and how he's become the spark that ignites every attacking sequence under Ruben Amorim. His influence was crystal clear in the match against Sunderland, where one particular play perfectly encapsulated his confidence and intelligence on the ball. The move began deep in midfield. Casemiro, with his trademark composure, sent the ball to Bruno Fernandes, who immediately flicked it first time into the path of Benjamin Šeško. With a brilliant turn and vision, the Slovenian forward switched play wide to Diallo, leaving him with the entire right channel to explore. Amad picked up the ball just past the halfway line and began to accelerate, gliding past defenders with elegant control. He carried it all the way to the edge of the box before unleashing a fierce strike toward goal. The goalkeeper managed to block it, but it didn't matter, the message was clear. Diallo had arrived, and his ability to carry the ball 40 yards under pressure showed the level of technical precision and bravery that few players in the league possess. Moments later in that same match, he displayed his growing chemistry with Bryan and Mbeumo, a partnership that's becoming the backbone of United's right flank. The play started when the defence played forward into Mbeumo's feet. With a swift turn and body feint, the Cameroonian shrugged off his marker and carried the ball forward before slipping it to Diallo in stride. What followed was pure artistry. Amado slowed the tempo for just a second, scanning for options before facing up to two defenders. With a quick bicycle feint, he left one of them behind. Then just as the second stepped out to close him down, Diallo released a perfectly timed pass into Mbeumo's path. Bryan struck it first time toward the bottom corner, forcing a save from the goalkeeper, but the sequence was stunning, a perfect example of mutual understanding and fluid movement between two players who think faster than the rest. A third highlight from that same fixture once again underlined Amado's associative intelligence and spatial awareness. This time, the attack started from Bruno Fernandes, who opened up play with a switch to the right wing. Finding Diallo already on the move, Amado drove forward, beating his marker on the outside, and as he entered the box, he spotted Casemiro completely unmarked at the top of the area. Without hesitation, he laid the ball back perfectly into the Brazilian's path, setting up a golden opportunity that summed up his decision-making and unselfish play. But it was in the clash against Liverpool where the Diallo-Mbeumo connection truly exploded. In a chaotic passage of play filled with aerial duels from both sides, Mbeumo refused to give up on the loose ball and managed to nudge it toward Bruno Fernandes. The Portuguese midfielder didn't waste a second. One glance was all it took to spot Diallo wide open on the right. Amado brought the ball under control and began advancing, scanning the defensive line as he noticed Mbeumo making a diagonal run behind the centre-backs. What happened next was pure magic. With the outside of his left foot, Diallo delivered a Trivela pass that sliced through Liverpool's defence like a blade. The weight, the curve, the timing. Everything was perfect. Mbeumo met it in stride and calmly slotted the ball past the keeper, sealing a brilliant goal that summed up their telepathic understanding and Diallo's extraordinary vision. Then came the Nottingham Forest match, arguably Amado's most complete performance of the campaign so far. From the opening whistle, he was everywhere, dribbling, pressing, taking shots, and constantly trying to tilt the game in United's favour. Despite United taking an early lead, Forest turned the match around, forcing Amorim's men into desperation mode. But Diallo, as always, found the moment that mattered. In the 87th minute, with United trailing, Mbeumo delivered a dangerous corner. The ball ricocheted chaotically inside the box before being cleared out toward the edge of the area, and that's where it fell, right to Amado Diallo. Without a second's thought, and before the ball could touch the ground, he struck it cleanly with his left foot, sending it flying into the top corner. The stadium erupted. It wasn't just an equaliser, it was a thunderbolt, a statement goal that reminded everyone of Diallo's technique, confidence and flair for decisive moments. That volley was more than just another highlight for the reel. It was proof that Diallo's confidence, rhythm and influence have reached a new level under Amorim. Every touch, every carry, every decision he makes now carries purpose. And whether it's linking play, breaking lines or scoring screamers, Amado Diallo has become the pulse of this Manchester United side, a player whose improvement isn't just visible, it's transformative. Few players embody Ruben Amorim's tactical evolution at Manchester United quite like Amado Diallo. What once looked like a bold gamble has quietly become one of the most intelligent decisions of the Portuguese coach's tenure.
Really pleased. I think he defended really well. Attacking, we already know that he's really good. Every time he has the ball, one against one, is giving us a lot of chances to score. He can help Bryan to play more inside and worry more with the runs behind the defenders. We miss a lot Amado against Brentford, especially when we're second half 2-1. To have an extra guy like Amado, it's massive, so we are really pleased with him. He did a very good job.
Amorim saw something that others didn't, a winger capable of adapting, of defending, of reinventing himself for the team's greater cause. And in just a few months, Amado has gone from a peripheral attacker to one of the system's most indispensable pieces. Playing as a right wing-back, Diallo has found the perfect balance between discipline and danger. The role demands constant two-way work, pressing high, tracking back, and attacking the half spaces with precision. Rashford and Garnacho were tested there and found wanting too direct. too loose without the ball. Amad, however, embraced the dirty work. His willingness to defend, recover, and reposition has made him irreplaceable on that flank. Offensively, his partnership with Brian Mbeumo has been nothing short of electric. Together, they've become one of the most productive duos in the Premier League, combining speed, creativity, and intelligence. Against Sunderland,
corner of the penalty area, a couple of step overs, one way, then the other, finds Brian Mbeumo. Mbeumo's effort, and it's another brilliant save from Robin Ruffs.
Liverpool, Brighton. And Nottingham Forest. The connection between both has been decisive in Mbeumo's runs behind the line, perfectly matched by Amad's ability to delay, read, and deliver the final ball at the exact moment. Tactically, Amad is unique. He's what analysts call a stop-motion dribbler. Instead of relying purely on pace, he pauses, studies, and manipulates defenders into committing before exploding past them. This timing-based dribbling style turns every duel into a psychological game, and his efficiency in one-on-one situations has skyrocketed as a result. He now carries the ball into the box more frequently than any United-wide player and has improved his shot selection, forcing goalkeepers into full-stretch saves in recent matches. Amad's passing has also matured. He sees vertical lanes others miss, threading passes into congested areas with confidence. While he still misjudges the occasional through ball, his intent is always forward progressive, aggressive, purposeful. His assist map from last season, especially his cutback to Mbeumo against Liverpool, proves how dangerous he is once inside the box. But beyond numbers, what makes Diallo special is his balance of intelligence and instinct. He offers width, depth, and unpredictability in equal measure. He understands when to hold the line, when to drift inside, and when to attack the second post. That kind of awareness is rare, and it's why Amorim trusts him completely. Right now, no right-sided duo in the Premier League creates more danger than Amad and Mbeumo. They stretch defences, break pressing lines, and force opponents to constantly readjust. When Amad cuts inside on his left, defenders panic. When he drives to the byline, goalkeepers brace. He's no longer just a promising winger. He's the heartbeat of United's new identity on the right. From Ivory Coast to Old Trafford, the message is clear. The new king of Manchester's right flank has arrived, and his name is Amad Diallo.